out of all the cruiserweight fights in this World Boxing Super Series tournament, the fight that I was least looking forward to and actually most disappointed by in terms of when it was announced was this Oleksandr Usyk Marco Huck fight. I understand why Usyk selected Huck as an opponent in the quarterfinal. I'm not dissing him for doing it, but I was disappointed when I found out that that fight was taking place, because Huck was coming off a loss to Wbss. Wbss is a good boxer, but just in terms of long-range boxing skills, he's not as good as Oleksandr Usyk. So and just stylistically, I know Marco Huck very well. So my instant reaction when Usyk picked Huck is, that's an easy win for Usyk. That's literally all that is. It's an easy win. It's easy work. I don't see any problem at all that Usyk is going to have with Huck. I don't see any way that Huck can win. I was actually surprised that there were so many people who thought this fight would be particularly competitive. I saw it as a one-sided fight. And I'm surprised that other people didn't see it the same. It's not like I'm trying to say that this was a great prediction by myself. Not at all. I thought it was an obvious prediction that everybody would be making, that Usyk is going to easily defeat Marco Huck. It won't be any kind of issue for him. And anyway, that's exactly what happened. Huck tried to throw a few more shots early in the fight, perhaps because Usyk doesn't have the kind of punching power that Wbss has. So he tried to throw a few shots early on, but Usyk put him in his place after a couple rounds. Then it was plain sailing, and then it was just a case of Usyk beating Marco Huck up round after round until he eventually overwhelmed him in the 10th and managed to get a stoppage. He becomes the third man to stop Marco Huck in Huck's professional career. The other two being Steve Cunningham and Krzysztof Glowacki. So yeah, I'm just glad the fight's over, to be honest. I like the lineup in the cruiserweight version of this World Boxing Super Series, but this fight right here was a fight that I just wanted to get out of the way so we can move on to the real fights. You know, because this to me was just, it was what it was. I definitely wasn't looking forward to this one. Anyway, let me know what you felt about Usyk's performance. Some people believe Usyk should have got him out of there earlier. I don't think so. Marco Huck is a very tough man. The times when he has been stopped previously, and even in this fight, I would say, have been down to fatigue as much as anything else. Marco Huck has a crab-like guard, which is difficult to penetrate, especially when he's in defensive mode, and when he's not really, giving you many opportunities to land. When he's not really throwing much himself and he's being very defensive, it's hard to get through on Marco Huck. And when he still has energy to hold his hands up properly, it's hard to get clean shots on. So there's that, and also Marco Huck has got a very good chin. So I wasn't disappointed that Usyk didn't get him out of there early. Every fighter has got different strengths and weaknesses. Usyk is very, very good, but he's not the biggest puncher you've ever seen. He's not up there with Wbss in terms of punching power. So you have to take that into account. These fighters are not supermen. They do have, as I say, strengths and weaknesses. And Usyk is the same. He's not a massive puncher. Now, some people are talking about Usyk stepping up to heavyweight, and they're saying after that performance against Marco Huck that they'd pick him against Joshua and all this kind of stuff. Well, let's not get carried away here, people. He just beat up Marco Huck, a guy who already just got schooled by Wbss. So let's not get carried away. I think that Oleksandr Usyk could do very well at heavyweight right now if he's matched carefully. If they pick specific styles and specific fighters, and I'm talking about top 10 fighters here. If they pick carefully specific styles and specific fighters, I think he could get some good wins at heavyweight now. I don't ever see a time when Oleksandr Usyk is going to move up to heavyweight and just run straight through the division and clean up. I don't see that. I don't think the physical strength and the punching power is sufficient for him to be able to do that. You know, just my view. Anyway, let me know what you felt about Usyk's performance here against Marco Huck and the rest of the tournament. Let's see how it plays out. Will there be any upsets? Will somebody be able to defeat Oleksandr Usyk? We'll find out in due course. It's happening. I'm out.